This is actually Ciera's backstory. And even though she's dumb, it's pretty depressing. And that is also why she has a deformed face and there's tear marks on her eyes. Okay, let's get started with her childhood. But before we begin, just promise if you just promise. Just promise. I'm not begging for subscribers, but if we get 50 subscribers in 3 days and 72 hours, I will drop a special video for all of y'all. Okay? Let's get into it. So first we're going to talk about her childhood, and it's pretty depressing, actually. And that actually just explains why she has a deformed face. Actually, ever since she was 1 or 2 years old, she literally, I don't know why, and I don't know how, but she was ever since she was a baby, she had a deformed face. And her mom was concerned about this. So she took her to the hospital when she was just 2. And actually the doctor said that she has some kind of rare condition that is unknown. And there is nothing that they can do about it. So actually they did they even gave her medicine. They even gave her medicine to help her deformed face, but nothing worked. But her voice actually sounded normal. She actually, and do you know why? And do you know why she can barely move and she is dumb? She actually suffers from Down syndrome and low function autism, which is why she can barely move at the point. She's actually kind of the opposite of Ciera. Except Ciera doesn't have Down syndrome. Yeah. And actually, if you hear closely, you can see Ciera's voice while singing is high pitched, while Ciera's is kind of low pitched. That's actually the proof that she's kind of the opposite of Ciera. Now, next we're gonna go to her school childhood. And actually, it's pretty depressing at this point. Because don't let her dumb act fool you. Don't think she's just a girl. She went through stuff. Ever since she was in preschool, she didn't participate in anything. Because they thought that something was actually wrong with her. When it's just her disability, it's not her fault. She was born like that. But they didn't let her participate in recess, none of that. They just let her sit on the floor in the middle of the door till the classmates come back. They don't even let her participate in parties even. If it's a pizza party, they just let her sit outside the door till the party is over. They don't let her participate in anything, and and the only thing she does is work. She doesn't participate in nothing. Okay, and she always cries every time she goes to school, which describes the tear marks all over her face. And actually, just because of all that, Ciera's not only dumb, but she also suffers from depression from all the stuff she's been through. And guess what? This is very sad. She was. I hope this is not. I hope this doesn't make me cry, but Ciera's was actually abandoned ever since she was 8 years old. She was actually abandoned. She wasn't adopted or anything. She was just on the street with no food, no water, and no hope. She was just trapped outside. She was just outside on the streets with no food, no water, and no hope. And then when she was 9 to 10 years old, her dad actually left her. Even though she was outside. Her dad told her that he was leaving and he would never come back. And if he came back, he would come back to meet her mother. Again. And actually, ever since she was abandoned, Pink and Purple, aka Rainbow Friends Ciera actually seen her on the street. Ever since one day after she was abandoned. And she's actually nice. She actually made sure she had a full stomach. She literally made sure she took a bath, and she even made sure she had a good place to sleep. And when she was 11 to 12 years old, 11 to 12 years old, Pink and Purple actually decided to take her to Ciera's house. Because Ciera said she doesn't want to be on the street forever. So she actually decided to take Ciera to Ciera's house. And there we go. That's how she's at her house. And actually, both of her parents are actually unalived. Her mom unalived from old age, while her dad unalived himself. Which is actually very sad. This is actually the first time I've ever felt bad for her. I thought she was just a dumb girl who just decided to live at Ciera's house, but turns out I was wrong. But actually, her sanity is starting to regain, and she's starting to go back on a happy start. Even though she's still gonna suffer from her disability. She's still gonna have the disability, but at least she's going on a great start. This is literally the first time I felt bad for Ciera, and I regret everything bad I said about her. I regret it. Maybe I shouldn't have thought. And also, Pink and Purple is actually one of the nicest rainbow friends ever. And I mean ever. She's actually one of the nicest ones. Even though she's Ciera's ex-friend, that doesn't stop her. Even though every time she's in front of Ciera and Ciera yells at her, she ends up crying. But at least she has Ciera as her emotional supporter. And also Rainbow Friend Ciera, aka Pink and Purple, She has to take care of her. And this is actually kind of bad. If Pink and Purple doesn't watch Ciera for 10 minutes, Ciera wouldn't take it anymore, and it would remind her being abandoned. And if she'd been left alone for 10 minutes, she would unalive herself. So actually, Pink and Purple actually muchly has to be in front of her for to make her feel comfortable and safe. This is actually the first time I felt bad for her. And I'm telling you, I'm never gonna say nothing bad about her again. Okay, so if she's acting dumb, don't let her dumb act fool you. That doesn't mean she hasn't been through something. And every time she cries, the tear marks get bigger and more noticeable. Because of most of the days, most of her childhood, she has been only crying. She has barely been happy at all. Either she has been sad or angry. Either she has been muchly sad or angry in her entire childhood. And now that she's 12 and almost a teenager, she was first 11 when they met. But after her birthday, now she is 12. And actually, what I find kind of weird is the real Ciera's birthday is actually May 3rd, but Ciera's birthday is September 15th, which is very weird. Okay? If you love this video, please leave a like, and don't be shy to touch that subscribe button. Click on the video when it describes the reason of Ciera's insanity. I tap this video when it's about the prank, and you know what the prank is. Alright. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have the rest of a blessed day.